Let's play! Whoa!
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. You all may call me Pharaoh, and welcome back to Let's Play Raging Loop. Last time we left off, we spoke with Konzo about the other feasts that he participated in and just how weird they were. And finally, after suspecting the old man cried wolf a little bit more, it was all an act. He's definitely not senile. He was one of the murderers of what happened in Yasumizu like 60 years ago. And, yeah, craziness happened. We got all the final keys, though. We have all the keys now, which I believe is going to open up the final path of the game. This may be the finale. I have no idea, but let's just go here and see what the final option is here. Call for that person. I'm not really sure what they mean by that person, because the only person around here that should be around is Rikako, and there's still lots of questions I have. Let's see if they're all going to get answered now. Oh man, this might be super insane. Yep, all the information we got from everybody, it's all flooding back. All right, I remembered it now. I went outside, ignored the monster, and shouted, "Sheep! Sheep!" Suddenly, the world turned gray, and that person appeared before me. Oh, so we're talking about the sheep. It's like, "You dumbass! You dumbass! You dumbass!" There you are. And 3 dumbasses? Oh, come on. Yeah, you know that's mean. Read the mood. I ain't Ogun Bot. I told you never to come back here again. Oh, so each of the 3 was a separate thing? I see, I see. What now, huh? Huh? What do we do about this, huh? There's no way to recover. We don't have to. Huh? I have everything figured out. I said it with a serious tone. Wait. Does that matter now? Oh, look, the monster's launching some beams now. Oh, there goes the city. What's with your attitude? You went against the warning, so that's your responsibility, you sheep shit idiot. I got called sheep shit by a sheep. Oh, you're dead. I'll kill you right now. Listen, you need time to solve this thing, right? Huh? What the hell's going on? Resolving this incident won't be easy. There would be 3 things that had to be done. I had to stop the people of Yasumizu from killing each other in a feast. I had to deal with the master of the loop who wanted the monster's resurrection. And I had to deal with the Miguruma, the leaders of the feast. The first one would be the hardest. I had to prepare for it. For the big act. Sheep, I need your help. Can you send me as far back as possible? Oh, I told you there wouldn't be a second time. They'll notice me if I do it now. That's fine. Huh? Let them know. The only risk of doing that is that you won't be able to control the dream again. That means that you and me both will be taken in by the loop, no longer store our memories, and just repeat the same things. Oh, you ain't wrong. So, I'll go back using your powers, and you'll be noticed and consumed by the dream. But it'll all be fine if I just solve the problem, right? There's 3 problems. First, I have no idea how much time before the starting point I can go back to. It could be just a few hours. Next, it'd be a gamble whether you'll keep your memories. There's no guarantee they won't be lost when I manipulate the dream. Lastly, you sure you can solve it all? Oh, don't mess around. I'm just not sure if I can do it this flawlessly. I'll do it for sure, though. At worst, I'll suffer some damage, but, well, I'll still be able to pull it off, I guess. Guessing won't do. Then I guarantee I'll do it. In exchange, you swear that you'll do your part. At worst, give me at least 1 whole day since the starting point, and make my memories as complete as possible. If I lose just one thing, my guarantee will be void. Oh, don't get uppity with me now! Well, if I don't turn it back, this country will be over. You knowingly left me no other choice, didn't ya? Yes. I'd say this kind of resolve is actually necessary to beat this bad guy. Mess up and I'll kill ya. You got it? Yes. Fine. Come, shit from a million sheep. Wait, hold on. Shut up. Drowning in 1 million tons of shit is how you deserve to die after what you pulled. 1 ton per sheep? How many months worth of shit is that? 100 million it is. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My apology went unheard. Well, can't say that's new. So we reached the myth. And we literally just died from sheep shit. So here we are, look. It's a whole nother thing. This might be the final thing, though. It's also the day before. We always used to loop to the 11th. Now it's Saturday. Shit. Huh? I woke up. This unpleasant awakening and a general discomfort in the room. It was that awful inn I visited. Awake, I see. Whoa, a hostess came in just like that? At least it wasn't that needlessly energetic proprietress.
Last night's share was fun.
It's been a while, so assume I don't really remember it. That's for best. I don't want to remember it.
Excuse me?
Nothing, just talking to myself.
Would you like some breakfast? Hee.
I'm good, thank you.
Staying again?
I'd rather die.
How sad.
I'll point about 50 people I don't like to this place, so you can take care of them.
That'd help.
I'm checking out.
Thank you. Hee.
What was with this place? Dude, you tell me, what the hell did you do the day before? You freaking perv. Anyway, since I was staying here, that meant I checked the calendar on my phone and found out it was Saturday, May 10th. I'd get lost in the mountain on the night of the 11th, and the mist would come on the evening of the 12th. And from what I could tell, I could remember everything. From what I recall, this was Chimi's first restarting point. I was upset I couldn't tell her about this, but I hope she remembered everything as well. Anyway, it looked like the sheep did what it had to do. Now, I just have to fix the problem. Well, it'd work out. I wrote something down and left the inn. It was a list containing things I needed and things I had to do to solve the problem. I knew the 3 things I had to do pretty well. I had to stop the people of Yasumizu from killing each other in the feast. I had to deal with the master of the loop who wanted the monster's resurrection. And I had to deal with the Miguruma, the leaders of the feast. Things wouldn't be solved if at least one of them wasn't cleared, and unlike before, I only had 1 chance. It'd be pretty boring if I messed up after all this resolution. I'd just take it easy. Humming a song with the same name, I slowly parked my bike. After filling up the tank at the nearest place, excuse me, I looked up the map again. The main road was packed right now. I had to pick the quickest route while avoiding it. I didn't know the lay of the land, but I knew my destination, so it wouldn't be hard to get there. From my current perspective, the me from months ago, had abandoned all responsibility and just wandered aimlessly out of frustration and an abundance of free time. I was different now. I had a goal, a place I had to go to, and people who needed me. Thus, I didn't have to hesitate anymore. I had to hurry. To Fujiyoshi, the misty place once called the Werewolf Village, the Mystic Garden of God. All right. I went without any breaks, stopped only to refuel, and finally arrived. Honestly, I could barely stand, but my thirst and hunger were way worse. I had to rest at least once. Seriously. My thoughts were dulled. I needed to raise my blood sugar. But there was something I had to do before that. Hello. I'm back, sheep.
Bah?
Huh? What are you saying, huh? What? You thought I wouldn't figure it out? You're the sheep, aren't you?
I don't know what you're on about. Get out.
What makes you trying to talk your way out of this while acting like that? Oh well. How'd you know? You're the only woman with such an insane fashion sense around these parts. The locals gotta go to 100 yen shops for their fashion. And no person without ulterior motives who would recommend that road. That's all? What a stretch. Sorry. Anyway, give me something to eat. You can have the almost expired stuff for free. Loyal to the role, huh? Shut it. I'll take the freebies, but I'd like to order some strange things. Sir, this is a convenience store. I gotta say that, you know. As if that matters at this point. Damn, you're a pain. Here's a note. What the hell? Piss off with this shit. How much is this gonna cost? You can't get it? Just wait. I mean, this is odd. I mean, well, cool. It's a different revelation. Cool. I guess it was also a little odd considering that everyone, like every main character had a profile like this, right? And then we have the store clerk that we barely see, but they gave her enough time to have an image and things like that. It did seem odd. Like the cop never got one, the Higuchi guy never got one fully. So, Thank you. Leave the rest to me. You sure you're gonna go in that state? Shouldn't you rest a bit? Do I look that bad? No. Actually, you look like you're ready to take on the world, and that's what worries me. Don't overdo it and snap under the pressure. Sorry for making you worry. By the way, I just realized I might have been used by you people without realizing it. Huh? Wait, why am I the one apologizing? Don't worry about it. This little... Well, whatever. I just want to be able to end it with that was fun. By the way, did the enemy find you? They've realized something's wrong. I'm on the run right now, but they'll have me soon. Their enemy was the mastermind, the creator of the loop. She was probably fighting her own battle already, one beyond my area of expertise. Well, I'll run as fast as I can. Maybe I'll be a good distraction while you do your thing. That'll help a lot. Please do so. Can I ask something now? Sure, go ahead. How long are you going to continue this act? This is the last time. Well, if you come back alive, I'll spare you the punch. She used me for all I was worth, then said she'd punch me if I died. It's kind of amazing, really. I couldn't tell if she was one hell of a tsundere or just insane. See ya. Yeah. I hid my impression and just got back to my bike. Tons of stuff I had on me made a rustling sound. Through my dozens of times of being killed by Chimi, I'd memorized the path here so well that I was sick of it. I passed a small overpass, stopped by my bike at the boulder, and took off my helmet. That might have been in Okiba, too, a sign leading to Fushioshi and Yasumizu. I placed the bike under a tree by the side of the road, placed what I had on the ground, and locked the bike. Then, I hung the helmet's ring over the chain lock. After that, I opened a large mountaineering bag and took out whatever I needed right now. A headlamp? It was a bit big, but it fit well, shone bright, lasted long, and was resistant to water. And this was my mountaineering stick. I already unpacked it in the store. I had to make sure I didn't get hurt. With my time being limited, I had to buy safety with money. I put on the backpack, putting on the weight of it all the stuff in it on my shoulders. I had to hurry. I had wasted an entire hour just getting here. The distant sounds of water became louder, and I finally made my way through the darkness and arrived at Saranaga Rapids. I unhesitatingly took off my pants, got in some loose trunks, and covered my feet in work toppy and climbing sandals. I placed my clothes in a waterproof backpack, closed it, and put it on again. Through my fights with Chimi, I found out that crossing Saranaga was pretty dangerous. It'd be too pathetic if I fell and died here. I just couldn't let that happen. Anyway, it was time to go. All the rustling coming from the backpack felt like someone was laughing at me, saying that my worries were for nothing, that I was jumping at shadows. The cold stream of May numbed my skin, and I felt like I was trying to sap the warmth from my body. But I couldn't give up. If I did this would all have been for nothing. Too many people would suffer. However, I wasn't motivated by some sort of justice, a sense that I had to protect them. I was just interested in the fact that this struggle would end up saving so many lives. It was an amazing trade. I also wanted to get even with some people and set myself free of this one-sided obligation. It was a selfish motivation, but that was exactly why I would give my all to it. I made it through the water and reached the other side. Naturally, there was no girl sawing off her shotguns here, or the flashlight she brought. Not this day, anyway. I arrived. Everything was as expected so far. No. I dropped the climbing stick in the water, so that wasn't that great. It was within my margin of error, though. I had to calm down. Getting distracted by my mistakes would keep me from focusing. I looked at my phone. It was out of service range, of course. The time was 12:53 a.m. Pretty early. It'd work out. I changed my clothes and shoes and got on the cliff. Shit. My memory told me that the cliff was the most dangerous place, especially for a non-local like myself. I tried to be careful, obviously, but the other stick I used for climbing broke. I almost fell and reflexively used my hands, cutting them on the sharp stone. After making up the cliff, I took out some whiskey, disinfected the wounds, and applied some first aid with a handkerchief. Thinking about what I'd do next, this wound was really painful. Maybe I had to loop back and... Of course, that line of thinking would become habitual. It was a good thing I overprepared. I only have one life now, so I had to keep that in mind. With that slight shift of mentality, I got back to work. The first one of 3 objectives. I had to stop the people of Yasumizu from killing each other in a feast, and this was actually the hardest thing to do. Thus, I had to be both extremely careful and extra prepared. I would be proving a hypothesis. I would be proving a hypothesis. I can't talk. I would be proving a hypothesis. Ugh. I was really pissed I hadn't thought of this sooner. I would have loved to try when resetting alt was still an option, but I was pretty confident I was still right. If it wasn't here, it had to be another place that I knew well, but this one seemed way more likely. I began preparing. I took out the 20-meter-long climbing rope. I had 5 spares, 100 meters, in the bag too. Of course, they took up the most space in the backpack. Freeing one of them up, I tied it as if preparing to hang someone in the feast. Passing one swivel ring through the rope and hanging the other one on another climbing rope, I made a 40-meter rope. It was enough to cover a cliff this tall. With this, I now had a way down from the hanging pine. I fixed the stopper I already tied to my waist on a rope and created a lifeline for myself. At least, I thought I did, but I had no experience with this. Still, I had to do it. Holding onto the rope, I began slowly going down. At first, I spun around, messed up while handling the stopper, slid down a few times, and was generally on the verge of getting myself killed. Eventually, I began stopping the spin by touching the grass and branches on the cliff, and figured out how to rappel down slowly. Finding what I was looking for while climbing down was hard work. I felt water drop on my forehead and thought it was rain, only to realize it was actually blood from my hands, falling from the rope above me. That made me keenly aware of the pain and pressure from using my aching hands. It brought back my exhaustion, drowsiness, and muscle pain. It came with a mental fatigue, and it couldn't have come at a worse time. Why was I doing this? The stupidity of it came back to me. What if this was all for nothing? Of course it was. Shit. Shit. Before I knew it, I was muttering some profanities. I felt like it would help me shake off the urge to cry, the pain, the misery, the patheticness. Even so, it had me here. It had to be here. The entrance had to be close. All of Yasumizu had taken it for granted that people had to be hanged from the pine. That wasn't word of mouth or anything. It was an idea that came naturally, and it was with them their whole lives. That meant that was this pretty much the work of God. However, the idea of hanging one side of a rope on a tree, the other on the neck, and then pushing the victim off felt illogical. Were they doing it because the only cleanup they had to do was cutting the rope? Well, during the feast, the corpses did fall to Saranaga every now and then. The lack of sound had to be God's doing, but that wasn't always the case. Some corpses had been caught on a cliff or fell on a riverbank. Whenever that happened, the body was not only cleaned up, it became a very real bother, reeking and full of disease. If you just wanted to hang the victim, all you had to do was put the rope over a branch and pull it up. That was often done outside of here. If what mattered to them was dropping a body in Saranaga, then pushing them off was enough. Even if they were just focusing on making a kill certain, there weren't many times they could actually do this. I didn't think of a murder method that only been done every several dozen or so years would be part of Yasumizu's common soul. That seemed especially unlikely when, for the past 500 or so years, the locals only used the feast to control the local community. In that case, I imagine that the truth was different. The hanging wasn't for killing. It was to meet God. The unique way of praying, where they joined their hands and hid their faces, had to represent the remains of the lifeline they'd held before God. Thus, I'd surely arrive there if I went down. I'd believe that. Believe. Suddenly, something appeared. About midway down the cliff, on one of the links between the climbing rope, I found a large boulder sticking out from the bottom directly across from me. It was large enough to stand on. There were some pine saplings on it, probably the children of the hanging pine. It looked suspicious. I had to get there. So I began swinging. Moving my legs and waist, I slowly created a swinging motion. The climbing rope made noise as I clung to it. The fear of it disconnecting and the fear of hitting the boulder struggled violently, but I managed to ignore them. When the swing was good enough, I waited for when I was over the boulder and stuck my legs out. I ended up having to grab on the little pines, and my hands hurt like hell because of the prickliness, but that didn't matter now. I adjusted my headlamp and started examining the place more thoroughly. Bingo. Right behind all the growth here, there was an aged wooden torii. Yeah! I felt my vigor return, but I needed to press on. Behind the torii, there was an aged door sealed by decayed chains. I pulled on it, and the chains just broke, letting me go in. This was no way to hide a god, people of Fujiyoshi. I opened the door wide, hunched down, and stuck my head into the hole. It was big enough for a crouching adult to pass through. It was a hole in the side of the cliff, angled slightly upward. It was an artificial place created by digging through the rock here. It was dry inside, probably due to a slope and a door protecting it. All right. It wasn't exactly what I expected, but it was pretty damn close. Now, I needed a way to secure a way to get here from the bottom, create a camp, and take away the route from the top. Thankfully, the young trees that were firmly planted and had large trunks, so I could easily tie a climbing rope around them and make my way down. With this and that, I successfully went down to the riverside below. I then got back up to the hanging pine, got my stuff, and took care of the climbing rope. Someone had come to the graveyard before the mist began, so they'd know something was up if they saw the rope. It'd all go to waste then. I had to hide until the mist came. This, too, was part of stopping the people of Yasumizu from killing each other in the mist. It was absolutely necessary for the cause. I began creating the riverside camp. Actually, it was on the rocky area above the riverbed. They couldn't see me from the top if I was here, and a flood due to rain wouldn't be a problem. Though, it wasn't much of a camp. I just took out a blanket and lay down. After drinking some bottled water, I looked at my phone. It was past 3 on Sunday night. There would be rain in 24 hours, and Saranaga would gain some water. I had to get everything done in the hole until then, prepare for the great act. But, well, it was enough for today. Man, am I tired. I arrived at Yasumizu a day earlier than normal and confirmed a theory of mine. All that was left now was to enhance the proof. I prepared a fakery. I could just go to sleep for now. I'd have to do things right after the night cleared, so I had set a timer and just nap, rather than sleep. There. Good night. Okay. Is it just me, or is this kind of moving along quicker than I thought? Maybe I probably just jinxed myself now. I easily woke up to the sound of my alarm. Honestly, the hard sensation on my back made it nearly impossible to sleep. Even so, though I thought I'd wake up in the morning sun, it just didn't come here. The settlement was right between the two mountains, so of course it wouldn't get much sunlight. I was still sleepy, but this was for the fated day. I drank down the rest of the bottle and got some calories out of some sweetbread. First, I had to take care of my wounds. Surrounded by a dim light, I took off the handkerchief on my right hand and treated the festering wound. I wanted to wash it off with Saranaga's water, but I felt like the hole in the middle of the cliff might not have been the only reason why the stream was considered corrupted. I washed it off with water with a new bottle instead. Then I put some more disinfectant and a fresh bandage on it. It had been messed up while I'd been climbing yesterday. I then grabbed my friend the headlamp and checked whether the stopper, a potential lifesaver, worked properly. With that, I was ready. Upon climbing up to the hole, I went inside and turned on the lamp. I then tried going up to the upward slanted hill. After some distance, the hill started slanting down. It might have been done to prevent rainwater from flowing in. And the inside? It was like I'd expected. There was a pile of fist-sized stones. I had to remove them all. It had to be possible. It had been done by humans, after all, and a whole 6 centuries ago, too. Though, I would kind of feel bad about it. What I was about to do was basically tomb raiding. But then I had a thought. Someone who was about to kill God had no business talking about irreverence. To make the job easier, I took out a small shovel and from the stuff I'd brought. I brought a collapsible bucket too, but it didn't look like I could use it. After thinking for a bit, I took out all the waterproof inner bags from the backpack, then transported the stones using the outer bag. After filling a bag with lots of rocks, I crawled outside and turned it upside down. This was effective and didn't put much strain on my hand's wound. Though hard labor in a tight space certainly wasn't easy. The lack of sleep and fatigue were getting to me, but I wasn't sure I was working fast enough. I wanted to go home after repeating this just 3 times. Even so, I do my best. I wanted to go back after all. Oh, come on, ancient people. Just how much did you have to bury it under? I know it's to prevent a god from escaping, but can't you at least consider the archaeologists who look for it? Oh yeah, not likely. I began talking to myself more. Was it a sign of something dangerous, or was I safe as long as I recognized it myself? It'd be bad if I started hearing the voice of God or Psycho Chimi. I considered singing about something, but stopped and I almost began singing prayer to Shinai. That felt like a one-way trip to madness. Weird. I didn't know if it was because of what I was thinking, but I began hearing auditory hallucinations. It was a crying girl. The moment Mikko-chan... that's the thing we never really fully figured out, was the whole thing about Mikko. Where the hell did she come from? It came back to me, though it wasn't like I completely forgotten it. It just slipped my mind. This was the morning where Mikko wandered in. What was I to do? If she cried here, someone would hear her and come over, surely. If that happened, they'd find my stuff and me as well. I looked like a weirdo doing weird things, and a girl at my side at that. What was up with all that? What was up with that role? Was I some sort of kidnapper about to bury a child? I had to secure her myself. Anyway, mission start.
Bah, my leg hurts. I'm so hungry. How far do I have to run? Where's the doggy? The wolf is so scary. Bah.
Hey!
Bah?
I called out to you, but what do I do now?
Bah? Who?
A local.
A local?
This seemed familiar. No, my name is Haruaki Fusashi.
Fusaishi.
That's it. Yeah, Haruaki Fusashi.
Fusayuki.
No.
Fusayuki-san.
Oh, fine, call me that. Where'd she get the U from anyway? Fusayuki felt like some sort of anonymous message board mascot's name. Are you hungry?
Ba.
Eat my face.
Ba?
Huh? Did that joke not work on modern children? I don't think it's gonna work in any children. What the hell's wrong with you, dude?
I won't eat people. That's not tasty.
But my joke missing the mark so badly, I myself became flustered. Oh, okay then. I have some food. Come here.
Ba? Fusayuki-san, are you a wolf?
Oh, that reminded me that she was afraid of wolves that were completely unrelated to the ones of Fujiyoshi. Well, I wasn't one of those wolves either. But if I said that, I'd make things more complicated later. I'm not the wolf that you're afraid of.
Really?
Yeah. I'm a good wolf. Holy crap, look, she's just gobbling. What is that, burger? That actually looks kind of pretty damn good. Hold on. Like, I kind of like this image. So, like, yes, can. What does that can say? I can't really read it. Does it say rink on it? I don't know, but she's munching on that burger. It looks delicious. Rattle, rattle. Okay. Hey, that's what happens when you don't eat properly. Eat slower, Mikko-chan. Here, wipe yourself.
Is that me?
Oh, sorry. What's your name?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, she didn't know her name or where she lived. So, you're a lost cat, huh?
Cat?
That's the animal you think about when someone's lost, right?
I'm not a cat.
Right. You're saying ba, so I guess you're a sheep?
Sheep are successes.
Successes? What? And talking sheep remind me of her. What the hell's up with her? And here I am giving her, like, giving the sheep a freaking, deep growl of man voice. But it's whatever. It's bad to not know your name.
You can call me Mikko.
Then I guess I will.
You're a good wolf.
Yep, I'm a good wolf.
Bad wolves need to be killed.
Yeah. No, wait, no. What a scary thing to say. What kind of environment has she grown up in? Mikko-chan, you shouldn't say kill that easily.
Ba? I shouldn't?
Yep. Killing is a scary thing to do.
Scary is bad.
Good girl. Instead, you should say that you're gonna beat him up.
Beat?
Yeah.
Ba.
What's with the bas anyway?
Cattle.
I don't get it.
Strange?
More like something you don't see every day.
Don't see every day.
Lost children are like kittens.
I'm lost.
Yep. And most men all fall for lost kittens.
Meow meow? Meow meow?
That's a cat, all right.
Ba.
It's fine. Don't force yourself. If you're strong enough, you can be whoever you want to be.
That's hard.
Sorry. I do not know where... I don't know what the hell's going on. The conversation sure went off the rails. I probably shouldn't have brought that up to a child. Would I also become a father to someone someday? Oh man, what a scary thought. Are you full?
Yeah.
Good. I just ran out of bread. Oh, wait, you ate it all!
Oh, I didn't leave any for you.
It's fine. I already ate.
Sorry.
You're a good girl, huh?
Good girl?
Yep, that's a good thing. You can do whatever you want, but in the end, everyone forgives you.
Ba?
But you shouldn't be too good either. God will notice you.
Too good is bad.
Yep. You should be a good girl who's a bit bad.
A good girl who's a bit bad.
Yeah. This is fun. Well, I don't know. Well, I don't like any of this. What the swing? Chimi? Huh? Oh, Chimi popped out of nowhere. Sneaked in, basically. She slipped on some rocks and was all wet. In her hand, there was a knife. Wait, hold on. Wait. Are you the Chimi that's overcome by despair to the point of wanting to kill me?
Huh? What? Yeah, I figured I'd kill you with a little splooshing this time. Killing is bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
Huh? Wait, what's this? Wait, why are you here at this time? And with Mikko, too. Wait. Why did the starting point reset? Ba?
Wait, calm down, Chimi-chan.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Oh, the fun times are over.
She disinterestingly threw the knife into Saranaga. That's dangerous.
It'll be useless this time anyway.
It won't.
Why?
Because this is the final loop. Her eyebrows furrowed in confusion and worry.
Loop?
Sorry. I'm gonna talk about something super complicated right now.
With her?
Yeah. Why am I being menaced?
Because you don't understand women.
Wait, that's just... Huh?
It's fine. I'll play over there.
Try not to get swept away. I really want to keep watch over her. But this is probably my last chance to meet up with Chimi. A good act needed some hired hands after all.
So, why were you showing your darkest parts to Mikko-chan?
It was just fun. I mean,
Ew, that freaks me out so much I'm actually sane again.
Anyway, there's something we gotta talk about.
I see you're as casual as always. Anyway, answer my question. What did you mean by last loop?
Exactly that. Things happen, and this is our last one. And with it, we have one final chance. If we mess this up, my memories will be probably start to reset, just like everyone else besides you. I'll forget you and become just a guy who crashed his bike and ended up in the village.
What? Wait. That's just... No, I don't want that. I'll be all alone again.
It won't happen.
Why?
Because I'll solve everything this time. What?
You're overdoing it. You're acting too cool.
I didn't mean to.
Anyway, you've watched too many movies and TV series. How many hundreds of times do you think we failed? There's no way it'd work out so easily.
It's not easy. I've already worked really hard. This is actually the conclusion of all the other loops that failed. Don't you think we have the qualifications and skills to finally end this?
Skills?
Yeah. I'll need your help to finish this.
As if I can help you. I've just spent all my time looping meaninglessly and just getting in your way.
You're holding some kind of grudge? What are you, my ex?
That's what I think, yeah.
Well, I couldn't deny that we were kind of close a bunch of deaths ago. You have what it takes. You have a vengeful defiance against God, built up countless loops. Built up over countless loops. That'll be settled too, of course.
Huh?
Your anger and resolve will end it. Shoot God with this. I took out some ammo, handed it to her.
Huh? When? Where? Who?
You'll know when the time comes. Saw off your shotgun and wait until then.
Wait. I don't get it. Explain. What are you doing here?
I can't say that now.
Why?
I can't say that either. After all, she was from Yasumizu. That had made her an enemy. In fact, she was the enemy in this case. She didn't have to know that I needed help for my act. It'd be bad if she did. Otherwise, she wouldn't be able to fulfill her role in this. Though, I know I probably shouldn't be the one to say this, but just this one time, I want you to believe me. That's my final request. I looked into her eyes. She closed hers, thought about it for a bit, shook her head to shake something off, and nodded.
All right.
Thank you.
Just so you know, pulling that off is pretty hard. When I do, I'd like a good reward and explanation.
Now that's a familiar line.
It's been so long that you forgot?
No, you got me there. What would you want for a reward?
Can you introduce me to a nice man?
Leave it to me.
Guess I'll just wait and see what happens next.
Can you take Mikko to Yasumizu as well?
So that wasn't your last request at all?
This is an extra to that.
Oh well, I was the one who found her last time too.
Why'd you come to Saranaga?
I couldn't find my place. Hey, don't make me say that!
Sorry. No one else will come here, right?
Right. Maybe Rikaku-san to pay respects. Still, she should be busy with Miko-chan today.
Okay, then there's no problem.
What's that rope?
A secret.
All right, you villain. Is that all?
It is.
Miko-chan, come with me. Ba?
Our conversation ended there. She soon dragged Mikko away, so I said see ya, but neither of them even looked at me. Resolve. I had to introduce her to a good guy, after all. I had another actor now. All that was left now was physical labor. I continued hauling the rocks. After all, I didn't know just how deep this hole was or how many rocks there were left. Nothing would be stupider than running out of time at this point. Even if there was nothing there at the end of this, I had to find out as soon as possible. The answer to one of the final two mysteries had to be right here. And if it was exactly what I expected, I can get a weapon to finally get the better of God. My hands hurt, and the dusty cave made my eyes and throat feel unpleasant, but strangely enough, I felt vigorous. Strange, considering that nothing much had changed from how it was in the morning. I didn't forget to drink and eat. Mikko ate the bread, so I had to make do what I usually did. I wanted to eat veggies and meat. I wanted to rewatch some DVDs and flashes. I had to get some new shoes and get a good shelf in my room. As I worked, my mind was filled with unrelated ideas. In that case, I had to return and get myself some good money. These thoughts raised my total motivation a lot. I'd solve this. I'd end this. I'd go back. I'd given myself a really long vacation here. Now I want to stretch, hop on my bike, and get on the slow road back home. I'd go back like I came. Alone. Even so, I had lost the emptiness by then. In the afternoon, there was a period when it was a bit sunny here, but as evening came, that faded too. There'd be rain tonight. I didn't want to lose my stuff to a flood, so I put it all in a waterproof bag and went back to work. My fatigue was at its limit. Even so, I continued digging and tossing aside the rocks. It continued until after nightfall. But then, there were no more rocks. Instead, there was a layer of sand. A round two, huh? Oh man, the ancient people sure were clever. But I was close. I was sure of it. For now, though, I would rest. Normally, this would be the time I'd be getting myself drunk silly at Chimi's or the officer's place. Back then, I really didn't expect that I'd end up doing public works here. The fatigue and muscle pain were just murderous. But I was so fulfilled that I found it kind of pleasant. I slept within the cave. Oh boy, okay. So, this is... Oh, excuse me. This is the day where things get, all goes to hell in a sense. The next day, I woke up with such brutal muscle pain that I couldn't even move. I hadn't been like this since 2 years ago, when I'd gone skiing for the first time. I had no choice, so I spent around 30 minutes stretching, then left the cave. I charged my phone with a disposable battery and checked the time to find out that it was 6 in the morning. I had about 10 hours left. I'd find it. I began digging through the sand. I dug. I examined the sand for anything significant. I couldn't throw away the sand, so I pushed it to the side. If I didn't find anything, I might have had to use the sand itself as proof of divinity. But it turned out that I didn't have to worry. After a few hours, I finally found it. So we finally meet. Shinai-sama. No. That name is heresy to you. You should be called this instead. Ukami-sama. Deep within the parted sand, I faced the thing inside. It was a skull. A human skull. Pure white and without a single scratch on it. It was most definitely divine. You'll see the light of day later. But don't worry. It won't be long now. Wait alongside your family, too. I carefully pushed it to the side. I began digging again. A hit. I found more and more bones the more I dug. There were 3 skulls in total. I didn't know if it was all the sand here or the dryness of the place, but despite being 6 centuries old, they still kept their original shapes and glittered like sacred ashes. If I wasn't careful, I could break them. But I felt like I had to beg these Okami-sama for strength. The strength that killed them. And found it. I found it. A relic left by these Okami-sama. I was certain of my victory now. I gently returned the remains of the soon-to-be ex-gods to the sand, and left the cave. I was finally at the decisive moment. The preparations were complete. Now, I need to create the best ending. The first step, to stop the people of Yasumizu from killing each other in a feast. I would call it, I'm Not Afraid of Wolves, starring Haruaki Fusashi, co-starred by 2 ladies that happen to join in. I would put up a good fight, and kill God. Oh, they're singing a song.
Good job. Well done. Onei-chan? Oh, it's Fusayuki-san. Fusayuki-san.
Mikko-chan, come with me.
Yay!
Don't!
But why? He's
Chimi Sarazawa. Shut up! Uh-oh. She pulled out a gun and pointed it at me. Her eyes were those she had when looking at God. It was made even worse by the fact that she saw God in herself, too. That would be over soon. Now is not the time. Look, the mists of Saranaga are about to overflow. That would be the moment I so desired. Shut up! Call everyone.
What are you planning?
I'll end everything. Now go. Mikko, you come to me.
But
This time Chimi didn't stop her. She just silently turned around.
Fusayuki-san, what's that face?
This mask? Cool, huh? I'm about to do my job as a wolf. Can you help me?
Yeah, what do I do?
Act like a good wolf.
Act like a good wolf.
When I touch your shoulder, howl like a wolf.
Woof woof?
No, it's
Ooh! Awoo! Okay.
everyone will be very surprised.
I don't get it.
You will soon. Now, let's wait for everyone.
Okay.
They gathered. Oh, perfect timing. The mist had passed the cliff, and mixed with the evening sun, the northern part of the Yasumizu settlement, bordering on the Bloodwater Rapids, the graveyard of the Hanging Pine. This was a scene of their original sin. It was a scene necessary for their death. This is absurd.
No way! God. What's that? Whoa, awesome!
They were scared. They were humbled. They knew. The God within them wouldn't allow them to look away. You! What the hell are you? Even so, some try to resist. This is a very wrong thing to do. So they couldn't even begin to do that. Resisting was a bad thing.
Wolf came.
Strangely enough, he ended up not being wrong.
I brought them.
Thank you. Now. Hello, people of Yasumizu. I thought long and hard about this, but I decided to go with whatever felt natural. I am a Yomatsu Ukame. I spoke using modern language. What the hell? Okay, hold. Okay. That's... alright. So I assume that was buried along with the other things. I imagine that's what he was looking for as well. I don't know, I feel like the game's... unless I'm just stupid, which is a very valid thing, I feel like the story here is like taking liberty with some stuff. I mean, this is why I like visual novels more so, where I am able to figure out things. Not where the game just kind of takes over itself, because I feel like we can't really reach the same conclusions like that. I just have to assume what he knows already. But either way, with the evening mist and sun behind me, I began talking while wearing the 6th century old relic. I love it, he changes his name. This is a day of mist. You would prepare for the feast and go to sleep. Then, starting tomorrow, you would search for us hiding among you, and try to hang us.
Awoo!
I lightly tapped Mikko's shoulder. As expected, everyone shook like struck by lightning. Apologies. My wife currently has other business, so we two will be the only ones here. While you try to hang us, we would try to massacre you, one each night, to settle the score of an ancient grudge.
How dreadful!
That is what you have been taught by your ancestors, and that is what you would teach your children. Now, I came here because I want you to stop. Please never again hold a feast of the Yomi Purge. Oh. Their faces were exactly as I expected. Please don't despair. We never actually wanted a feast of the Yomi Purge, did we?
Oh, woo! We didn't!
Ad-libbing it, huh?
Ukami-sama, I am the representative, Yamawaki.
Yes, I know. Nice to meet you, Tei Yamawaki-san. She gasped so hard she forgot to breathe in for a moment.
You say we do not need to do the feast anymore, but why do we...
I see why you're curious. Allow me to speak, and tell you the truth. A long, long time ago, there lived a god here. It was a mischievous god who fooled people, picked on them, and sometimes even devoured them, starting with the head. Thus, the mountain was its sacred ground. It was a dreadful place where no human dared tread. However, humans grew in number and lived as they always did. Eventually, the mountain was visited by hunters who wanted to find a new home and place to live. Soon enough, there was a small village here. Of course, the god didn't like that. It sent wild animals, mountain dogs, and even the wolves that recently disappeared to torture them. That was when the humans sacrificed 3 of their own. I my wife, and our little girl here accepted it. If everyone here could live happily after our sacrifice, we had no reason to hesitate. That was the most painful lie. It couldn't have been true. The Okami-sama must have wanted to live too. They wanted to live alongside their family. But I would bear the sin of both using the dead as well as killing God. Thus, all of us together laughed, ate lots of beasts and drank lots of sake. And after the final feast, we entered a small cave next to this river. Did you know that our bones are resting right under where I am standing right now? That mountain. I don't know what it is called these days, but it is in a small shrine overlooking that. After all, the fearful god sends the Okami-sama from there.
No, that's... We had no idea.
Well, that is only natural, I suppose. A whole 600 years had passed since then. By the way, this is what we were wearing when we were sacrificed. We were expected to become gods of wolves. That's why the three of us ended up being called Okami-sama. Indeed, we were born 6 centuries ago and ascended as gods that ended up defending this place for about a century. We became ancient, fearsome gods.
Oh my. My, oh my, oh my. Haru-chan, not now.
It's fine, Shikamochi Kamoshida-kun.
Oh, you know my name too?
Of course, Mochi. Understand that she has a right to comment. But, can you listen to me a bit more?
Listen, okay? Okay. And man, so Mikko-chan was a wolf? That's why you came from Saranaga, huh?
Yeah, perfect timing.
Do not mind me and continue, city dweller. No, Father Wolf. You purged me, caused me to fall under the woman servant, and took all of my powers, you detestable brat!
As Haru-chan's voice became dense with rage, those who couldn't understand the situation shuddered. No need for that, God. Please listen. This story upsets us as well. With our divine blessing, the village grew large. However, not everyone was happy. Those who were told to protect our grave were made to live here. There was a barren land with little light, lots of mist, and ground hard to traverse. It was made worse by a battle that happened then, and the blood spilt in the river. The place was fearsome, yet they continued to defend our divinity. It was an honor, and a respectable cause. But eventually, there was an emotional distance between the people living on the mountain and those living here. Those who lived under harsh conditions and those who prospered began to fight and despise each other. After a long peace, they forgot to respect the ones living here. That was when it happened. The people up the mountain put poison in the waterways here. They made a lot of people here ill. And to get back at them for this, the people from here willingly changed themselves into something scary. They covered themselves in Saranaga mud and attacked those living up the mountain. I could still remember it. What a horrible event it was. Women, children, elders, everyone was stabbed, torn apart, or hanged. In the end, the victors were the people living up the mountain. They ate well and had greater numbers after all. However, they became afraid of the people here. They had reason to, because we were at their side. They thought the mud-covered attackers were our divine wrath. The anger of the Okami-sama, the gods they neglected and their priests treated as cruel. So they decided that they would steal God. After long plans and many dark conspiracies, they successfully stole our divinity. They took our appearance and even our name. They played with great god, Ukami, to create the name Shinai. Then, they created his servants, Snake, monkey, crow, and spider, and split the divine powers among them. Though we couldn't complain much considering our own power was stolen from the old god. They began worshipping Shinai-sama, the false god, atop the mountain, and made everyone know that they were the rulers of the mountain. They left the people here with the divine remains. We became simple servants. The old god had it even worse. It was called Mujina, badger, and was quickly forgotten completely. After all, the ones who benefited from this now were the families worshipping the four servants, the ancestors of the modern-day village heads. And once our divinity and powers were stolen from us, all that was left was a fear. They were still afraid of the god worshipped by the disgusting rebels. The fear was so significant that they couldn't wash it away. And we became the fearsome divinities you know as Yomatsu Ukame. It was a fear and reverence closely tied to this place. That's why I was always here. As a defeated god alongside the old god. We had no powers. Our powers were now being used by Shinai-sama. Shinai-sama from when he was wearing the disguise of the Wolf Guardian, and finally the other four guardians. I'll say it again. We had no powers. We haven't harmed a single person in any feast of the Yomi Purge. We simply watched as people we're supposed to protect died. It was awful.
Awful.
Do you understand yet? The feast of the Yomi Purge is caused by people, not gods. But that... Kiyanosuke no Sato-san, your family tried to resist this. Once this is all over, please search beneath your storeroom. You will find records of the Nosato battle that began with your great-grandfather's generation. Really? The Nosato aren't at fault here? Not completely, of course. Though, unlike the Miguruma, who had run many feasts and caused many inhabitants of Yasumizu to kill each other, and the Higuchi, who acted like nothing happened, the Nosato can still wash away their sins. That will depend on what you do next. You bear the Nosato name, after all. Follow your predecessors and find everything out. A history hidden by human hands can only be revealed by human hands. I understand.
But Ukami-sama, the mist is so dense now. Can we really go without holding the feast? I'm fearful.
I won't say it's not dangerous here. The Miguruma people will try to make the feast No. They will come after you to stop you. But don't worry. My wife is preparing a way out through Saranaga.
Saranaga? Oh, how fearful.
It will be okay. We are the Yomatsu Ukami. Bachan, wait! Okay, Takumi-san. I can tell you're not normal. My body's Yasumizu grown, and I can tell it that you're a god. It can tell you're a god, but that doesn't mean I can believe you. I understand, Takumi Muro-san. You can't be certain that we aren't deceiving you, to steal you back to Yomi. You are the young leader here, after all. Of course you would be worried about that. How much do you... I know everything. Of course I did. I knew everyone here. I looped around here way too many times not to know. They were all just normal, good people. They bore their poverty and unfair circumstances while stressfully surviving their days like anyone else. That was why they always killed each other. Okay. Let me finish this with some words for each of you. Now, Ukami-sama, it was time for work. I need your divinity to help me save your adherents. Takumi Muro-san, we know how you buried the victims of the Feast of the Yomi Purge from 8 years ago without knowing they were such. We know how you protected a problematic little girl, Chimi Sarazawa-san. We know the strength and gentleness you portrayed by always returning here, even when you got caught a disease that almost saw you killed. Even if others don't share that sentiment, we, the ex-protectors of the Fushioshi, thank you deeply. Your homeland shall eventually develop, and the old will mix with the new, though there will surely be problems between them. You will surely waver and be distressed then, but if you believe in yourself and think things through, you will surely find the right path. As long as you are the way that you are, God in the mountain will reward you. Please believe me. All right. Kanzo Makishima-san, we know. We know how you survived 2 feasts and carried those painful memories with you as you protected your granddaughter from the dark hand of Yomi. We know how those memories rendered you unable to even face her. Please, stop. She doesn't know. But don't worry. Your granddaughter is many, many times stronger than you realize. Right, Haru Makishima-san?
Oji-chan, I knew. I knew that Dad and Mom died in a feast. That you didn't have a choice.
Haru, I'm sorry. It's all my fault. I'm sorry.
It's okay. So, let's go visit her grave together. I'm right here for you.
I will stop the feast, so you can stop hiding in the shadows and join hands with your granddaughter and everyone else here. Please believe me. Tei Yamawaki-san, I saw how serious, sincere, and devoted you were to your faith. Even if Great Lord Shinai and the Guardians were just an illusion, I saw it all. Your life is a very precious thing.
I just wanted to hear that once.
Please be more tolerant of the young ones. And please pass on a true story. And please believe me.
Of course, I will.
Kiyonosuke no Sato-san, I already gave some words to you. But if I'm to say anything more, you are a capable person, but you should become more open-minded. Ignore who is above and below. You know what it means to advance while holding each other's hands, don't you? You learned that in college. All in Yasumizu have a number of talents. Also, it was fun to do all those things with you, so don't degrade yourself so much. What? What do you mean? Nothing. Just, please believe me. Understood. Kiori Aribe-san, I don't know any mother who has suffered as much as you. You lost your husband to the feast, then were made to live in a place like this, yet you still raised your sons well.
So he really did. And I was prepared.
Though, you should really be more proud of yourself, not just your sons. Your sons aren't all that you are, of course. You made everyone here happy with your food. Then surely you can make yourself happy as well. And it wouldn't be fair if the others didn't try to make you happy too. Right, Takumi-san? Yeah, that's right. And Kiori-san, please believe me.
I will. God.
Yasunaga Aribe-kun.
I don't know. Should I believe you? At the very least, it doesn't seem rational.
Good. That's how you should be. Think and stay alert until the very end. You will pass the path of Yomi and arrive at a safe place. You can't rest easy all the way through. Though, you should relax a bit once that's done. You're too tense for someone so young. Try skipping a class or two and search for something that you really want to do. If you do that, you might give yourself time to realize just how much your mother loves you.
Yasunaga. So you see that too.
And when it's all over, please believe me again.
Very well.
Yoshisugu Kuribe-kun.
I ain't believing.
Yes, and that's perfectly fine for you. You are like your brother. You have a strong sense of responsibility, love your mother, and are very anxious about everything. You're a normal boy, really. And while your brother fights with brains, you can fight with guts. You need to find a place where you can go wild more freely. There's tons of professions that need guts instead of brains. Instead of following your brother, try to chase untrodden land. Also, treasure your mother. Though there's a clear bond between you and her, harsh words weaken it, little by little.
Yoshisugu.
That's a fact. Believe it.
All right.
Mochi.
I've been waiting for this.
Good. And honestly, you don't need to believe.
Oh?
But you're interested in what's gonna happen next, right?
Yep.
Good. Then look forward to it. Though, the thing you're not interested in might lead to something interesting. Or just become interesting. It could be feelings, like love.
Love, huh?
Try facing it head on. Otherwise, if you end up losing something, you won't even notice the pain. You already know everything, don't you?
I don't, but I do.
Haru Makishima-chan. No. God.
What is it, Okami Dono?
Let me start by clearing everyone's misunderstanding. Yasunaka-kun, Mochi, this is a real god.
Huh? That can't be right. She's our super secret Haru-chan. Oh no, I said it!
Yes, that's how it started out. After losing her parents and getting the cold shoulder from her grandfather, she wanted to get the adults' attention and resurrected this god. What do you mean? It's a bit hard to explain. There's God inside of you all. After all, you were all born and grew up in Fushioshi, and that was a fact. That is why you can't rebel against us. The guilt from killing us long ago on that misty day had been inherited by you as a memory of God. You also have even older memories of fearing the dark mountain and praying for peace. Thus, when Haru-chan tried to create a false mask, God could resurrect from these memories in a perfectly stable form. That was why Haru-chan is both herself and God. Right, Haru-chan?
What's the point of revealing it? People will still think I'm simply insane. And you are insane yourself, no, city dweller? You rose thousands of times, arrived here, and now trying to trick a god?
No, Haru-chan. And no, God. Haru-chan isn't insane. I also know how scary God can be. But you have a strong heart that lets you make even that your own. Even if God stops appearing, your strength will never fade. I'm certain that only you can save Yasumizu. So become a villain. Be an evil that's free from everyone's idea of what's right, and fly free as you wish. That strength will surely become a driving force, raising up everyone living in this land. I want to see that.
Can I really do that?
Yes, I saw with my clairvoyance.
Do not be so brazen before me. The clairvoyance was stolen by the snake. This girl's body is mine. Me? Stop appearing? Do not make light of me. The mountain is Yomi, and Yomi is darkness. As long as people live here and continue to fear, I shall never fade.
Yes, I know.
Huh?
Who said anything about making you fade?
Huh?
If you disappear, who will be the local god when we're gone? Well, I don't think you'll be able to do whatever you want, though. The outside world is full of various gods, concepts, and all that. But even so, this is your garden, and everyone here is your family. You don't have to live as a lonely and forgotten god anymore, do you? Please reinstate yourself.
Wait, but I... Huh?
Everyone, starting today, we Ukami will no longer be Yasumizu's and Fushiyoshi's gods. We return our Great Lord Shinai's and the Guardian's divinity back to the newly resurrected ancient god. Please build her a shrine and worship her. Please fear and revere her divinity. She once lost her divinity to the sacrifices, then survived being trampled over by a fabricated god, then joined hands with the sacrifices and bloomed back into divinity. And please speak her name, and make sure it is passed down. Oh, and do mention the Ukami, the Guardians, and Shinai every now and then. It's important to know your history, and it'd be bad if people forgot. I'm counting on you, everyone. They nodded. Now, you won't have to be so fixated on your fragile human body. Right, God? Please don't cry. Haru-chan will be uncomfortable.
My apologies.
Also, do be kind to the humans.
Very well. I promise. Thank you so much. I am so happy City No. Ukami Dono. Oh man, Haru-chan's all teary. I don't have a handkerchief or anything, so use the edge of the dress. Mochi, you literally never change, do you? To the very end. You are the only one who does not fear me. Yeah, you're Haru-chan, even with God. Could you protect me until I have a shrine? Along with Haru-chan. Yasun, what do you say? Yeah. She's like a little sister to me. Take care of her. Old man.
Do something about those clothes.
Haru-chan. Depends on what you're like. Okay. Also, thanks for everything, Haruaki. Yeah, anyway, that's how it is.
Good. Goodbye, Haru-chan.
You know, frankly, I'm still a little bit confused about the whole thing with Haru-chan and God. I'm sorry, I know the game is went over it, but I don't know why I can't put two together. Like, I don't know if if it really is like split personality or a mental thing going on or what, but still. Another thing. Once this is over, take whatever you can within 10 minutes and go to Saranaga. You'll find my wife there. Follow her directions and escape this place. Everyone complied. Also, old man who cried wolf, you stay in the plaza. Now. Sorry for keeping you waiting. Chimi Sarazawa-san. No!
Your life was one of torment at the hands of the malicious lowlives who wielded the might of God.
I said no!
You feared and suffered while clashing with others and seeking more power. You spent your life wanting to be stronger. That's why you began to see us and God.
You're not God!
Because of this, you gained the right to harm God.
God can't be killed!
Normally, yes, but it's not unkillable. Give it a name, get rid of its successors, create a hero that qualifies for the cause, and give him or her the right weapon. Basically, make everyone agree. And you can kill a god. I myself give you the right.
No!
Come to me, my daughter.
Okay. I don't want to kill you!
I called Mikko over and hugged her. Tightly. Now, aim. A sawed-off shotgun slipped out of her sleeve. She couldn't resist at all. Well done on everything you did so far. At this moment, I felt like I was speaking for someone other than me. This is my last wish.
No!
Shoot. The barrel spewed fire, and my body, still holding Mikko, soared into the air. Okay. And I am worried that the whole thing about Rikako, like, what's going on? She didn't, there's no appearance. It's not like I can actually die, though.
Wow, this is so fun!
Seriously, what's going on in that head of yours? It'd be bad if they hurt us, so shh.
Shush.
Good girl.
And a bit bad.
Wow, you learn fast. Basically, I just bungee jumped backwards the moment Chimi fired. The rope couldn't be too long, or we could end up hitting the cliff, so it was only about 10 meters long, but it was bungee jumping nonetheless. I prepared a rope during a little time I had after getting the mask. I only had one shot at this, and it actually worked out. With this, God was dead. Great Lord Shinai, Yomatsu Ukame, the two-faced god of fear and oppression, was killed by a fitting stage and a decent plot. He spoke his last words for each of the weak, yet good people Yasumizu. He understood them well and encouraged them to follow a different path. Then, he reconciled with the true god, the one given the dirty name of Badger, and passed on the rites. They no longer had a reason to fear the mist, blindly follow their fake laws in the mountain, or kill each other because of some legends. They would never hold the Feast of the Yomi Purge again. So, Mission 1, stopping the people of Yasumizu from killing each other in a feast, had been completed. Even Chimi, who was so afraid of Great Lord Shinai and God, had literally defeated the source of her fear. I can only hope it fixed her murderous side as well. So, an hour and a half has gone by, and I don't know how much longer this is going to be. So, I'll continue recording, but if this ends up being like very, very, very long, I may put a stopping point here and have another episode start. So, in case you guys are confused, like why did this video suddenly stops now and then it'll be a new video tomorrow or the day after, this is the reason why. Because I just don't know how much more is left of this.